What's up, guys? Yeah, it's Trader Prosper here again. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Okay. So, as we all know, this is our normal weekly review. So, I'll be showing you guys what I did in the charts this week, explaining everything I did and the lessons I learned, both the mistakes I made, and all of the things that I think that is going to be valuable to you guys, so you guys can learn and also you get to see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So this week was not a profitable week as well. So so yeah, the plan is just to focus on this system. I just created this system early this year, and I said I want to stick to the system and see what the system can do in the next 6 months, right? So the goal is not even about the outcome for now. The goal is just to stick to what I'm doing and see the long-term productivity that will come out of it, right? So it's just consistency because I'm very like um when it comes like if the weekend comes, right? I'm always scared if I don't make anything out of the week. I'm always scared to make a video, but then I was like, man, F it, man. Like I'm going to still do what I've planned out to do, right? So that's my main focus, on focusing on the things I said I'm going to do, instead of feeling whatever it is I'm going to be feeling because of the outcome of the week, right? I guess this is that period that, man, the system is just getting messy, but then I still stick to it because over time I have back tested it. It is very productive, right? It is very productive if I happen to follow it very well, and if the market um does what it's supposed to do, right? So let's get into it and leave much talk. So this week I only traded NAS 100 and SPX 500. So they were the only guys that aligned with my system, right? The trend, like I noted last week, was in a downtrend, right? Let me off this, guys, so that we can get the whole thing clearly without disturbance, right? So we noted last week that market was already ready to start selling, right? The way we using the system that we are trading, right? But then I also mentioned of being in a way bullish, because as you can see, ever since I started trading this guy has always been strongly bullish. Like, right, sorry, it has been bullish. Like you can see it will just go up, give you that correct, and still keep on pumping. You can see just correct a little and keep pumping, and all this dump are just always one candle or two, and it continues going to the upside. You can see a little bit pullback, it continues pumping. But this time around, I don't know what the market is planning on doing, but from what I learned this week, like whenever the market starts weakening out, right? Whenever the market starts weakening out, like this, now we had a break of structure to the upside, had a break here, and you can see that the market, instead of breaking like normal breakout, it starts reducing momentum. You can see right from here, whenever the markets break structure, let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm trying to say. You can see right from here, whenever the market breaks structure with a week, it sells off massively. Whenever it breaks with a week, like it has been reducing momentum, right? The momentum of it going to the upside has been reducing all this while. So I feel like the market is trying to do a new thing altogether this time around. But as you can see, it is looking like this zone here is proving very stubborn, right? You can see if market taps it, it will just buy up. If market taps it, it will just buy up. So the market is kind of fighting between the supply and demand in the markets, right? So for me, like I've been putting something new in my plan. So this week, after this series of losses, I have decided to, whenever the market, as you can see, the market is kind of choppy right now. If you look at it from another angle, you see that it's kind of just going sideways, no actual direction, right? I know that my directional bias might not actually be right, but I'm still waiting to see what the market is doing. So what I factored in my trading plan this week was whenever the market is being messy, like whenever the direction is not clear to me, right? Whenever the direction is not clear to me, I best leave the pair because all this while, like if you watch, you can see all the trades I've been catching in this pair. You can see all this while that the market has been obeying our system, like from that break you can see to this guy, you can see the buys that happened there. Same with this place, from that high to this low, you can see the buys that was happening here, and everything was going smoothly. So a lot of the enough of the ranting, and let's get to what we are doing, right? But I'm just trying to show you that at this point market is trying to do something that we are not aware of yet, right? So it's best to wait it out. So I guess I'm going to do the camps on this pair because I've taken enough hits here, right? I know all these other hits that I took here was me calling the directional bias very, very wrong here. But this one, I don't know, but we just keep following the system and see what is going to happen in the long run. So I'm getting back to what I was about to say. So judging from the the direction we had this week, right? So the market has broken structure here, has broken structure and has pulled back to a very premium zone, right? And it's already selling off. So we were able to catch the first trade last week, but it took us out, right? And started selling off massively. So using in the same faith, right? In the same faith, due to the fact that market is already bearish. So I was like, okay, since you have turned bearish, so you just to start looking for sales and continue selling to the downside until this zone is being taken out, right? Until this zone is being taken out. So that's the plan. And on Monday, I waited till market did all he did, and gave me this thing, this guy here. So I feel like I wasn't patient enough to get a very clean second break here, right? To get a very clean second break. I know that market took out something here, right? Market took out something here. So due to that sweep, I just forced this trade, right? I just forced this trade, but then it is what it is. I'm broke structure here, right? I'm broke structure here. So I call this guy my liquidity, this guy my inducement, and decided to take this other block because this other block it was the guy that is looking like it was not mitigated, right? So I took that guy as my other block. This was what I did. So on a normal day, like assuming this market is like very, very okay with selling, I think the guy is already going to be dropping from there. I was very, very confident on that trade, right? A little bit. I was confident on that trade, but then the market broke the structure and you know, and just tapped us, gave us hope of selling, and then took us out, right? So now, there was a zone I had there last week. This zone, we are looking at this zone because this is a breaker block, and there was a liquidity here. This liquidity that was swept, right? So this is also part of the reasons why I consider taking this trade. I consider this guy as the liquidity has been swept. The market is not ready to come back up all the way up here. That it is already comfortable with selling to the downside without doing anything up again. But then the market just swept that liquidity and did this. So I assumed that this guy is another liquidity sweep, right? To continue selling because this zone here, there is two breaker block here. There's a breaker block here, right? And this is the last breaker block here, just like two other blocks in this zone. So I said, okay, market might be wants to react from this breaker block here, not this one. So when the market tapped there, and broke this guy, right? Broke this guy. I was okay. The market seems like is about to sell again, right? As you can see that I'm just following my system. I'm not doing anything aside my system, right? It's just that the market is not ready to sell yet. Are you feeling me? So when the guy tapped there, I and broke this structure. I waited. I just looked for this sweep here. You can see. So let me remove all of this. So you can see for yourself that there was a sweep here. You can consider this guy a sweep, right? There was a sweep there, and there was also another sweep here. So this is the sweep I considered. Or this guy was sweep. So I took this guy. So this guy was the main order block there, but the way I take other blocks, I prefer taking a very size good sorry. I prefer taking a larger zone. I think it was the on the 2 hour that I saw the other block that I used. Let's go check it out. The 2 hour time frame. Yes, it was on the 2 hour time frame that I picked the other block that I used. Yeah, I think this was the other block I took. So that was the other block I took for the trade. Yes, that was the other block. And that was the trade. So again, for me, if the market, like if I get the directional bias of the market very right, I'm always very very confident about the trades that I take. So I also covered this side considering what happened to me last week. So I was like, this guy might be aggressive this time. I want to do something else. So I covered this last high, right? And I gave enough space so that the guy can breathe. And I was targeting this low. I was targeting that low. Yes, that was the trade. And you can see the market started selling off very, very good. I had my rules. So until market breaks this guy, right? And even give me maybe a second leg, right? Before I start breaking even. Like when I'm very, very sure that the market is no more coming to this zone. That's when I break even. So I just held the trade for the trade to run. But as you can see, the market is definitely trying to do something different this time around. And it is switching bullish this time around. So I'm just going to wait it out. So it has broken this guy. So it's likely going to use this zone to start buying. Right? You can see the whole trading setup. So, but then I'm going to wait it out to see what the market is doing. So if market should come here and give us a very strong reason to buy, I might consider buying. Right? I might consider buying. Yeah, and does something like this, I might consider buying on the lower time frame. So this was the trade I took on on SP 500, and the same thing was happened in NAS. So um you can see NAS is the NAS was like the whole break on NAS was very very promising. As you can see, yeah, like the whole scenario still played out when I got this sweep. Right, when I got this sweep, I was waiting for and got this other break of structure, got another break of structure here. So I considered this guy my other block and was confident enough to start selling. But then the whole thing that happened on the other guy still happened here, right? They are timber. And this our breaker block was tapped very, very well. Like you can see the mitigation. The guy was mitigated very, very well. So that's why I also considered taking this trade as well. Do you get? And you can see the guy broke under structure, but then I didn't break even because I didn't get something to validate the break even. So that was that for this guy. You can see the guy just started selling off beautifully and then decided to do whatever it is that he did now. So next week the same thing applies here. I'll be looking at how this guy reacts here, but if this guy should take out this high, I think that's when the buys might be high probability at this point, right? That means the market is reacting from this daily order block here. So that means the market is just reacting from this daily order block and wants to continue buying. So you just have to wait it out and see what the guy has to do before we consider doing anything again. So coming on the other pairs, USD CHF and all. So as you can see, I have a very sell bias on this pair, but there is nothing showing up for the sell side of things. He's just doing some buying stuffs, right? He's just buying because it broke structure here. So he swept all of this side. So he kind of switched back bullish a little bit, a temporal bullishness because the overall trend is still sells. So I think he's just trying to retrace back to a reasonable zone before dumping, right? So when it comes to the sell buy side of things, at this point, there was no clear buy setup here for me to even consider buys, right? There was no clear buy setup here. There was no clear buy setup here for me to consider buys. Yeah, there was no clear buy setup for me. So, and this is what the bear has been doing all this while. So I'm just waiting patiently for this guy to see what he's going to do next before considering taking any action on that guy. And also on GPJPY, I'm also sales buyer. So this is the zone I'm looking at. Like I said last week, I don't know if I mentioned it. I'll be looking at for this breaker block. And all these guys are my liquidity for that breaker block. So if market should consider selling, you can see that the breaker block is kind of in alignment with this side to that low, right? Is in the premium zone, like the premium zone. So if market gets there and decide to give us like and gives us a reason to start selling, I think I will start selling from there, right? But for now, I'm just waiting to see what the market is doing. Right, so I had a zone here last week. This yeah, I think this guy. I was looking at this guy for reaction to start selling, but then he just tapped in. There was no second break to validate any sales. So assuming there was a second break, I could have sold this market. But it seems that the guy is trying to do something else this time around. So I'm just waiting patiently to see what the market is going to do from next week. So if market should aggressively take out any of this high and gives me a reason to buy, I might buy, right? I might buy to this zone before now considering selling. So this is what I still have for this pair. I'm just waiting patiently to see what the market is going to do, right? So USD JPY, you can see USD JPY is still on a sell. Like I'm still sales biased here, but then I'm still looking at to see what the market is planning to do, right? I'm still looking at to see what the market is planning to do. So for now, there is no action to be taken. There is no action to be taken. Though there was a setup that I spotted there. The normal me before. I'm likely going to take the setup. You can see there was a sweep here. This is liquidity. This is a proper break of structure. Right. So there is this other block here. So if you go to the 2 minutes time frame, you're likely going to see it very clearly. Sorry, 2 hour time frame. Yeah, you can see that other block there. Or 45 minutes can give us a more clearer other block just to look for. Yeah. So you can see this other block here. So he's using that guy to buy. So for me, I'm not doing anything. I'm not buying anything because the market is for me is still bullish. Sorry, it's still bearish, right? It did not take out this guy. It didn't take it out. So he's just doing something. So I don't know whatever it is that he's doing. But the fact that I have a sell bias here is restraining me from doing anything other than sales, right? Other than sales until I'm very, very sure that the market has turned bullish. So if market should take out this high, right? This high here, that's when I'll be comfortable to even start looking for buys when market comes back here, right? When market comes back here and give us a reason to buy, that's when I might consider start buying. Then if market should get to this level again, I might consider selling again because it has gotten to a very much premium zone, and considering the fact that we are in sales, in a sales buyer, so it's going to likely give us a reason to start selling, right? So but if nothing other than these two things happens, I'm not going to do anything here, right? I'm not going to do anything here. Then the another reason I might um consider doing anything here is if this pair should give me, if this guy should give me a valid reason, like breaking this guy with a proper break, I might consider buying from this zone, right? Then targeting here. But if the trade is not giving a reasonable risk to reward ratio, I might not even do anything. I'll just wait it out, right? I will just wait it out because I've learned that patience is the key thing here, not even cause rushing into executing trades and all and all. So patience is what I consider I value most now, right? Other than just rushing into trades up and down. So yeah, so guys, this is going to be the end of the weekly trade review. So I believe that you learned something new today. So if you happen to learn anything in this video, just drop a comment and tell us what you learned, right? Then if you want me to do other things aside this, you can also comment in the comment section and, right, tell me what it is that you want us to be doing more on the channel. So that'll be all for now, guys. I wish you guys a profitable week ahead, and wish you guys a productive week ahead. Okay, so yeah, if you go out there, remember that you are the best you God has ever created, and you are destined for greatness, right? So yeah, see you guys next week, and bye for now.